The Boeing 747 is the most recognizable commercial aircraft in aviation history. Billions of people have flown in one. Millions more have watched them climb overhead and thought nothing of it. But there is one version of the 747 that no paying passenger has ever boarded, that no airline has ever operated, that no government official has ever fully described on the open record. It was built for a world where civilization no longer exists. Its engines are running right now. The year is 1974. The Cold War is not a metaphor. It is a countdown. The United States and the Soviet Union together hold enough nuclear warheads to end human civilization, not once, but several times over. Washington's strategic planners are running scenarios with a question at the center that no one wants to answer publicly. If the Soviets launch a first strike against Washington, the Pentagon, and the major command installations, who gives the order to respond? The White House could be destroyed within 8 minutes of launch detection. The Pentagon, within the same window. The command structure that controls the entire American nuclear arsenal could be decapitated before a single retaliatory missile leaves the ground. The solution the United States Air Force produced was not a bunker, not an underground facility, not a hardened basement. It was an aircraft. The E-4B Nightwatch, officially designated the National Airborne Operations Center, was built on the frame of a Boeing 747-200, then rebuilt almost entirely from the inside out. 4 aircraft were constructed. All 4 remain in active service today. At any given moment, at least one of them sits on the tarmac at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. Engines on ground alert, crew aboard, cleared for immediate takeoff, waiting for an order it has never received. The crew does not call it the Doomsday plane. That name came from the outside. They call it the NAOC, and they train every single week for a scenario the rest of the world is not allowed to think about. From the outside, the E-4B appears unremarkable. White fuselage, Air Force livery, the same broad wing, the same 4 engines, the same silhouette that has defined commercial aviation for half a century. But the moment the exterior is left behind, every similarity ends. The interior is divided into 6 operational sections, 6 distinct battle stations, each engineered to support a specific function in the management of nuclear war. The first is the National Command Authority compartment. This is where the President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense sit. From this single room, suspended at 35,000 feet, they can issue launch orders to the entire American nuclear arsenal. Ballistic missile submarines beneath the Pacific, intercontinental missiles buried in hardened silos across the Great Plains, strategic bombers circling the edge of hostile airspace. The second is the briefing room, real-time threat assessments fed from military satellites, from early warning radar stations, from field commanders on the ground, synthesized and delivered to the president within minutes of an alert. Then there is the communication section. This is where the true capability of the E-4B becomes visible. 112 separate telephone lines run through this aircraft. 6 miles of copper wiring have been threaded through its fuselage, every inch of it shielded against electromagnetic pulse. The EMP is the secondary weapon of a nuclear detonation, an invisible wave of electromagnetic energy capable of destroying every unshielded electronic system within hundreds of miles of the blast. Satellites, power grids, communications networks, military command systems. The E-4B is hardened against all of it. Its avionics are hardened, its communications are hardened, its flight controls are hardened. It can communicate through every medium simultaneously. Encrypted satellite uplink, high-frequency radio, and, critically, very low-frequency signal, VLF, the only form of electromagnetic communication capable of penetrating ocean water to a depth sufficient to reach a submerged nuclear submarine. The Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines of the United States Navy, each one carrying enough firepower to destroy a country, can receive launch orders from the E-4B Nightwatch while operating hundreds of feet beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean. And there is one final capability that places the E-4B in a category of its own. It can refuel in midair. Without aerial refueling constraints, the aircraft has remained airborne for over 72 consecutive hours during exercises. Its operational endurance is limited not by fuel, not by range, but by the lubricating oil in its engines. in a genuine nuclear emergency, its crew of 112 battle staff, communications officers, military advisors, and the President of the United States could remain airborne, fully operational, and in command of the American nuclear arsenal for days. Consider what the E-4B costs to operate: $159,000 per hour. Every hour it is in the air, the United States spends the equivalent of what a family of 4 might earn in 3 years. Across its operational lifespan, the 4 aircraft of the NAOC fleet have accumulated tens of thousands of flight hours. The total expenditure is not publicly disclosed. It is enormous, and every dollar of it represents a bet, a calculated, deliberate bet that the aircraft will never be used for the mission it was built for. Every hour it lands safely is a day the world did not end. But the moment it takes off under emergency conditions, not for a drill, not for an air show, not for a diplomatic transit, it means the scenario that its designers refuse to rule out has actually begun. Before continuing, what follows is the sequence the United States government has never publicly simulated on camera. If this is the kind of classified level analysis that brought you to this channel, subscribe now. Every week, the systems and strategies that define modern military power get broken down here, the way they should be. Now, what actually happens when the Doomsday plane is activated under real-world conditions? The sequence begins before the aircraft ever takes off. Under the current alert posture of the United States Air Force, the NAOC crew maintains continuous ground alert at Offutt Air Force Base, the headquarters of United States Strategic Command, the organization responsible for the management of all American nuclear forces. If the Defense Support Program satellites, geosynchronous platforms designed to detect the heat signature of ballistic missile launches, register an event, the alert crew has minutes, not hours. Minutes. The Nightwatch begins its takeoff roll before the President has boarded. The objective is to get the aircraft airborne, to get the command authority out of the blast radius of any incoming warhead targeting the base. Once the President and the Secretary of Defense are aboard and the aircraft is climbing, the E-4B becomes something the United States Constitution has no formal name for. It becomes the government. At cruising altitude, above the lethal radius of a surface nuclear detonation, above the immediate thermal pulse, above the ground-level EMP wave, the President can exercise every response option in the American nuclear arsenal. To the submarine fleet, via VLF antenna extended from beneath the aircraft, to the ICBM launch crews in their underground silos across Montana, Wyoming, and North Dakota, via encrypted satellite uplink, to the strategic bomber crews of the B-2 and the B-21 via high-frequency radio, to Allied command authorities across NATO via secure satellite link. Every instrument of American nuclear power coordinated from a single aircraft moving at 600 miles per hour somewhere above the burning continent below. This is not conjecture. This is the confirmed, tested, exercised operational design of the E-4B Nightwatch, acknowledged by the United States Department of Defense. In January 2026, cameras at Los Angeles International Airport recorded something that aviation observers described as a first in the aircraft's 51-year operational history. The E-4B Nightwatch arrived at LAX, a white 747 with no airline markings, no passenger manifest, no commercial designation, rolling to a stop at one of the busiest civilian airports on Earth. The footage circulated within hours. 500,000 people watched it within days. Most did not know what they were looking at. Then, weeks later, as the United States and Iran moved toward the sharpest confrontation in years, as the Strait of Hormuz closure placed 20% of the world's oil supply under direct threat, the E-4B was spotted again, this time conducting operations above Offutt Air Force Base, at an irregular hour, with a C-17 escort. Analysts noted it. The E-4B does not appear in public without purpose. Its flight path is a form of communication, not always of imminent conflict, but of readiness, of a government transmitting, through the movement of a single aircraft, that the full weight of American strategic power is prepared to respond. No press statement, no diplomatic cable, no speech, just a white 747 climbing into the sky. And everyone who understood what they were looking at fell silent.